Good evening, everybody. Everybody of none. This is just a quick live, I think, tonight. I don't know. I'll give it a chance for one or two people to hop on. I haven't made any announcement of going live, so apologies for that. I wasn't even sure myself. There's one or two. Hi Coil Proby and Pittsburgh Vapes. Hi Pittsburgh Vapes. I wasn't sure myself whether I was going to do a show tonight. I've had tremendous backache, back pain today. Just turned my phone off. And I thought, well, if I'm going to be struggling, I won't do it. But to be fair, this chair is actually quite comfortable. So while I'm not grimacing, I'll stick with it. But I just thought I didn't do one last week, and I'd pop on tonight and give everyone a quick update of what's been going on. A thumbs up, thanks for that. Hi John Nash, and John Best, a pair of Johns, a brace. Manic, hi Manic, Ian, and Lynn, hi Lynn. Yeah, like I say, apologies for not, announcing anything tonight. No thumbnails, nothing. So it's nice that one or two people have popped in on the off chance. So thanks for that, for the people that are watching. I just need to. You can tell how disorganised I am. Nothing is ready. Nothing's turned on. So we'll just have a quick minute or two for people to join, and then we'll get into it. Tell you what I'm vaping on. Clear a bit of space. I think everyone just saying hello. Obviously, same. All the usual things apply. Anyone got any queries or questions? Just don't be shy. Don't think you're asking anything silly. Just hop on and ask. That's the easiest way. So put that down there. Hi Shane, Andy Harris. I think I said hello to Andy, didn't I? I'm sure I did, and definitely did Lynn. So that's all good. Bits of paper stuff everywhere. So how's everyone else's week been? Coil UK, hi Coil UK. Yeah, hopefully you've all had a good week. Depending on where you are in the country, I guess, depends on what the weather's done. We've had some quite extreme weather, haven't we, with dams up in Yorkshire and all sorts. But Coil Proby, I'm so close to pull the trigger on the Cayman RDA. Is it possible to get restricted direct lung as well? The Cayman, I've tried the Cayman. Give me a minute on that, Coil Pro. I'll think about it. I know I've tried it. I know I have, but I can't remember. David, hi David. Right, well there's one or two. How many have we got? 15. Great. That's 13 more than I thought I'd get with no announcement. So right, what am I vaping? This won't be long tonight, folks. It's just it's just me on my own. Quick update, what's arrived, what I'm vaping on, and any questions that people have got, I'll answer you, and just general chat, same as normal really. Shane, can't wait for Bogan's new RTA. Right, yep. I haven't seen much of that. Evening, Daniel. Daniel was brewing up. Cup of tea, I guess, Daniel. Nothing worse than that. Yeah, good idea, Coil Proby. Give me a call tomorrow. I'll write that down actually. That's the easiest way, because my brain today isn't the best. Cayman RDA. I know I've tried it. Do you think I can remember it? Right, that's written down. Okay, so what am I vaping on? Well, I am on this Dovpo little I mean, it's hard to get a size value here, isn't it? But it is small. A built-in battery. This little mod, I've loved this mod. It sort of lasts all day. I mean, I've been using this all day, and I don't know if you can see the battery. Look at the battery level. Yes, admittedly, I mean, that's on 17 watts. In fact, I think that's turned itself up. I'm not going to lie, I think it was lower than that. I've been on about 14. But, yeah. That's the Gate RTA on there, which one of my favourites. Still like the Gate. New things. Let's have a look. Anyone know what that is? That's the new Aladdin by Keys. Now, I wanted to have everything ready to show you. I've had, if I can get that, can I? This is like version 3. I've been helping Keys with this one. More central, that's better. I think I've got the camera a bit wider tonight. I don't even see the main corner. Never mind. Yeah, version 3. They had, this was one of their versions along the way, and I've been helping. You can see there's nothing on the bottom of it. I've been helping them with these. One or two of them, yeah, you can see, I mean, that was just never going to work as a mouth to lung. You know, look how big that is in the middle there. But, and the doming, well, there isn't any. There isn't any doming. So that was one of them. I think what I'll do is I'll do a better discussion on that when I've got everything sitting here with, you know, with me, so I can show you in more detail. But the Aladdin itself is I'm liking it. I'm really enjoying it. And what I particularly like is the top. Whenever a mouth to lung tank, if you are mouth to lungers out there, for those of you that are, you'll know that to fill it, if you've got a twist top to turn the top down, what you're doing is pressurising that liquid into the coil. That's when you get this type effect. But what they've done is they've put a bayonet fitting on the top, and it literally just drops on half a turn, and that's done. Now, as you can see, there's plenty of liquid in there, so I've just opened it. No gurgling. Vapes well. You do get a little bit of, I don't want to give like the review away, but you get a little bit, you know, when you've got condensation perhaps down the centre chimney. Little bit of that. Whether I just need to raise the coil slightly, I don't know. But in general, the flavour, really, really good. So that's that one. That's in the gunmetal. Couldn't think of that word. So I told him my brain was shot. Anyone else said anything while I've been nattering away? John Nash, Mark, do some help with the True Tank. Can't seem to stop it leaking or flooding. Any help? I've done a video, John. How to wick it. I've done one on one of my live shows, live, to help with one. But yeah, of course, if I can help you with that, and if it's something you want me to do again on a show, and I'll coil it and wick it live for you, I'm quite happy to do it. Nature Vape, Coil Proby, oh, did he? Right, yep. Did a review on it. Did say you could, but I think he'd have the V4 different from the one you have. I'm not sure. Let's put that up on the screen so everyone knows what I'm reading. I'm not sure which product you're talking about, Coil Proby. Did a review on it. Did say you could, but I think... no, I'm sorry. I don't know. Tell me what... expand a little more, please. Also tried to purchase the Gate 2 mouth long and wouldn't let me in into description or put in cart? I don't know. The gate 2 is on the site, so I don't know why you would have had a problem with that. Evening Lane. John Best, what about Bessie Goldsmith selling up, buddy? Really shocked me. It's great for drip tips and different. Yeah, when you say John Best, put that up there. When you say selling up, I don't think he had a lot of choice, to be honest. I mean, Bessie's I had him on the show 2 weeks ago. He's a tremendous guy. Really is a lovely chap. It's competition with China. And obviously, if you produce something in the UK, we can't compete. No one can. And if you've got his resin drip tip and a Chinese one, sometimes people don't realise how much better quality perhaps that his were. But yeah, it's a shame. But we've all got to live, and I think he could see his income dwindling. So I suppose that's what it is. But yes, John, it is a shame. Spectre, if you rub the top coat, a genie may appear. No, I don't think it will. No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's about it. Albert just ordered the Luxem today. Looking forward to this. Yeah, the Luxem's great. I've got one here. I've had 2 things on the go pretty much fully today. The Luxem, you can see it fits in my pocket. That's how much I've used in that. That's got the True Tank on it with one of Bessie's drip tips on the Luxem in 18350. There you go. Andy, I can help. It happened to me. Just leave the wicks. Oh, I think Andy's talking about the leaking of the True Tank. I'll tell you who did a good wicking tutorial of that was Vape Don't Smoke, Paul McCartney. And what he basically did was he put the wick in and he fluffed it like a bow tie, and the top part of that bow tie coming up each side, he just trimmed across and then put the wicks down. And I've actually copied that way a lot of the time, and it works really well. But the biggest secret I would say with the True Tank is put the wicks down dry. Don't wet them, and just damp the coil. You'll see the moisture start to come round the edge, and at that point just push in the cotton in that rebate and then put the lid on. Let it do its own expansion. So if you're still struggling after that, John, please let me know. Which of the SXK billet boxes on the site would you recommend? Shane, put your comment on the screen, then people will know what we're talking about. My own belief, I've got the DNA 60 and I've got the 70 watt version of the billet boxes. It doesn't bother me which one I pick up, to be quite honest. I'm quite happy with using the SXK, the 70 watt cheaper, like the Osmodus chip one. So if you're a real DNA fan, I'd say probably you'd be happier with that. But if you just want to use it in wattage mode, I would probably say go for the cheaper option, because they're still, it's very little between. It's the same, everything's the same case, same panels. Literally the only thing different is that chip, and the Osmodus chip is still a very, very good chip. Okay, I hope that answers that one. Andy Harris was a little late, was changing my glasses, lol. Have you noticed, Andy? Someone's noticed. Not many people have. New spectacles. Spectacles. There you go. And Pittsburgh just got the Rev 4. I love it. Yeah, it is good. Yeah. 4B. Right, what else am I vaping on? So that's done the Aladdin. This, anyone know what that is? Has turned up today. That's not in focus very well, is it? bring it back. You can see how tiny that is. Little 18mm RTA. Let's have a little vape on that while I keep you in suspense as to what it is. Anyone in chat know? Tremendous flavour. Really good little flavour out of this. I've got one here in the box, which I'll be opening up a new one and show you inside it in a little while. We'll open the table cam up and do it on the table. So yeah, so it's wine. Andy Harris. Yeah, so it's wine. Oh right, that's why. Andy's got new glasses, so you notice my new ones as well. I mean, you talk about vaping stuff being expensive. Dear oh Lord, we need a second mortgage for these. Unbelievable price of glasses. So the nugget, yeah, well done Pittsburgh. I didn't mean the nugget. I meant the bit on top. The RTA. Well, I'll put you out of your misery. It's the new one by Ambition Mods. It's called the Purity Mouth to Lung RTA. A little 18mm diameter one. So anyone who's got, there aren't many mods, are there? 18mm mods that I can think of. Anyone tell me in chat something that would really pair up nicely with one of these. Of course you can, I don't think I've bought the accessories to my Luxem up here, but it's no coincidence that Ambition Mods, who also make the Luxem, put a beauty ring inside with a rubber O-ring to take 18mm tanks, because at that time when they were making the Luxem they knew that this little tank was on its way, and I would have had that set up on a Luxem, but for the fact I just want to try it more where I can vary the wattage. I mean, on that one I've got 10 watts. You can't read that very well, can you? This camera is pants at times. I should be able to bring it up. Should I do that? No, I won't. I'll mess up chat. Yeah, so 1.31 ohm coil I've put in there. Just a single round wire coil at 10 watts. So you skint now, Andy, as well. Now you've bought your new glasses. It's just horrified me when you have your eye exam and say, yeah, you need new glasses. They're not right. And I was, to be fair, when I was doing these shows, I was tending to go like that. I don't know if anyone noticed to look at the chat. So a sign that they are better is that I don't feel like I'm doing that. So that's a good thing. But yeah, you go through the motions, eye tests, and you go out and you choose your frames, which for me was quite easy because I like the rimless. And then they tell you how much it is. You're like, ooh, really? That much. But never mind. Coil Proby 18. Here we go. We've got a list here of some mods. Let's put that up. Coil Pro 18mm mod. Luxem, yes, as I've discussed. Yeah, will do. SXK Atto. Well, I've got the Atto. I've usually using it. I think it's downstairs at the minute. And that's a 22mm. Although the 18 will fit, it's 22mm diameter. Mod 101, that's the same. It's 22mm. But yes, of course, 18 will fit. And all the fun. I really should read these things before I put them up, shouldn't I? And all available at Nature Vape. So yes, they are. Yep. And the other one I guess you could use is that one, which is the old Trona, little 18350. And if Bessie comes up with his pipe, maybe we can use that as well. I think he's committed to do that for me, so that's going to happen. I'm sure it'll happen. I meant to speak to him before tonight's show to see how he's getting on with it, but the day just went crazy, and I didn't have time. But I don't know if anyone's ever had a bad back, but even I was out in the car. It was actually a van, a caddy, but I was driving, and when you can't even be bothered to keep your speed up, It's a weird feeling when you're in pain, isn't it? Oh, you got 2 sets of glasses, did you, Andy? Because it was a lot cheaper than getting very focus. Yeah, these are variable focus ones. And no, I didn't. Actually, that's a lie. I have bought a second pair. They're not ready yet, but they're more of a computer type pair, which I've just told them put lenses in the old frames. So yeah, I guess I have in a way. Right, so what else am I vaping? I think that's pretty much it tonight. There's not a lot else. I've been mainly giving these new mouth to lung tanks a bit of a going over. Flavour from that is good. I think we will be having these in. A little bit confusion on the Aladdin, but I'll expand on that perhaps another day. Right, shall we open this camera up? I've got so many screwdrivers and things laying around here. Put that there. Open the other camera up. Make sure it works. Handy cam. That's where you see all the mess on my table. Zoom it in a bit. Oh, hello, Salford. Popped in for a minute. Yeah, I tend to do that on some shows. I just pop in for a little while and pop out again. Usually something's ready for tea or something like that. But thanks for popping in, David. And yeah, obviously I have said it before, but heartbreaking about your dog. I know what you thought of your dog, and it's not nice. Not nice for anyone. Horrible. We don't have them long enough, and we humanise them as well, don't we? They're like our buddies, aren't they? I know mine goes everywhere with me, but anyway, I won't harp on. Right, okay, let's see if we can get this one on the table as well. Let's add that. There you go. So if we just open that up slightly, get rid of the lace on this thing. There we go. How's that? This sticker donated by Daniel. Lovely surprise that was. Okay, here's the box. Can we all see that okay? Yeah, do you really need to see my mug in there, or would you prefer to just open the box on the table and let me talk? Probably do that. Let's do that. Let's take me away. This is where it's going to go huge, isn't it? Bring that in a lot. Get rid of me. Bring that out slightly. In a bit, out a bit. There you go. That'll do, won't it? Got a thing about seeing that lace. That'll do. I know where the centre is. Okay, so if I open it upside down, Purity Mouth to Lung RTA. I'll do a proper review on this. This is just to show everyone who watches my show. And he goes, "Come on, Mark, open the box." All right, calm down. You can't see me now, so I'm going to stick my tongue out. Nothing much on the box. What's included on the side? Right, I have slit down the side here, so let's take that off. Throw it in the bin. Now, if Ambition Mods are watching this, it's a tiny detail, but I'm going to say it because it worked when I said it to EH Pro. These boxes, can you just put like the little cutouts here so we can open them easier, because they're not so easy. Anyway, me and my grumpiness over. It's not grumpy. It's just it's a small point, isn't it? But these things do matter. Right. Instruction leaflet inside. Pretty comprehensive, actually. So if I can just scroll. So that's upside down for everyone, isn't it? Let's put it this way. Scroll along. Is there an English version as well? Must be. Hang on. Yes, there you go. Right. Parameter. It's That's why you watch this show anyway, isn't it? Who wants it perfect? That's the foreign one. Right, that's the right one. Parameter, structure. There you go. Have a little look at that. Adjust that. It's got a juice flow adjustment on it as well. And a very clever one, I think. And it's got airflow as well. And it's top fill. All on a little 18mm tank. Who would have thought that? This again has been something I've been working on with Ambition mods, and I'll get to it properly in a minute. These are version, let me get this right, which was version 1 and which was version 2. That I think was, hang on, I can't remember. Anyway, one of them was version 1. I've got a feeling that was version 1 and this was version 2. You can see they are different. And the bits inside are different. That's what I've been helping them with as well. So we'll get to that perhaps in a little while. I really am teasing you, aren't I? I've just read some comments. Glad you turned it around. It's hurting standing on my head. Thanks, Daniel. So, alright, there you go. There's the right way up. Turn it that way for you. There's me crushing a pack of coils under my feet. So, spare glass. Let's get something just to dig that out with. The bits and pieces. That's just like a beauty ring. So I guess what I could have done, and we'll put that on in a minute, put it on a 22mm mod, so it reduces that down. The tank itself, now underneath, oh, now why was it in mine, the one I opened, had a little free one of these. Ooh, knocking stuff over. It had one of these little screwdrivers. This wasn't the one actually, this one came in a K-Fun, but very similar to that. So okay, in this one we've got, I'll have to look into that, screws and O-rings. So we'll put that back there. Does it say on the lid what it's got? It does, doesn't it? Wire screw, glass tank, cross screwdriver, it says. Naughty, naughty Ambition. You didn't have to put that in the box. I think it should have one, but it's not in this box. So we'll put that there and that on there. Right, let's get to the juicy bit. Let's get to the tank itself. So to fill it, this is going to be tight, isn't it? Bit like the gate, top ring off, and that is just, look how thin that O-ring top is. So you're not putting that under nice big juice holes, juice ports there. You're not putting that under any pressure. It's literally, what's that? Before you get resistance on there, 1/2 mil, maybe 1 mil, something like that. So to fill it up, there we are. So let's put him back on there. Nice drip tip on this as well, 510 drip tip, and yeah, nice one. You can see the internals, how thin that is. Right, the clever bits, here we go. This is where I'm gonna, yeah, I thought it was. So it's undone the whole thing, so 1 second, let me just go off camera. Oh, silly Billy. Right, okay, line that up. To take it apart, there's an arrow there and a dot. Just make sure it isn't shining on the light. Can you see the arrow and the dot? This is your juice flow, minus and plus, but when you line up the arrow and the dot, it just pulls off. Okay, lovely little dome in there. small little dome. Now the juice flow, what basically happens is that this part here, is that light really glaring on here? I think it is a bit, isn't it? But that starts off thin and gets deeper and bigger as it goes round, and obviously your coil goes across there, your wick's inside here, and that just makes it more or less juice flow with the juice flow that's on there. Nice small little hole there for the airflow, and the airflow itself is also adjustable, so let's put that back on there. I only got these in, incidentally, yesterday, so even I haven't, although I've been like on a bit of a journey with this to, you know, to get the thing changed and made differently, so I have used it to a point, you know, even I haven't thoroughly tested this version yet. So as you can see, that is now back together. So there's your juice flow, the dots on the top here, and obviously lining up with that dot. So there's your juice flow right up to full, and your airflow, you've got 4 dots here, and I can't even tell you the size at this stage. What you do on one side you do on the other, but you don't have to. If you spin it all the way around and go to here, you can just have it on one side, and that's then blanked off this side. So quite clever. How condensed is that? Ooh, this really is one of the early ones. Look at that number 14. So they really have looked after me. They've given me the very first of them. Okay, so I think actually let's see if I can just undo these just as a point of interest. Let's take that one apart. This was one of the earlier ones. It's pretty similar in design, although they did have, and if you look here, there's a pair of ball bearings and some click points here, which I think was a nice try, but it really didn't. Let's push that back in. Can you hear? And you have to go back, but when you wanted to go all the way back, it could have been a bit of an effort. But as you can see, bigger turn screws there on the head as well. So things have changed a little bit as we've gone through. The height of the centre airflow as well has changed. So let's open up this one. They're all the same. The dot lines up with the arrow. You can see I've been using that one. Fairly similar, but again these were different, the posts and the centre airflow. So for anyone who just thinks that China just spits these things out willy-nilly, I think it's quite obvious that Ambition mods don't just do that. They won't release it until they are happy that they've got something of quality. Now that one there's the new one. Okay, so let's turn the camera up, get rid of add me, take away that. There you go. How's that? So hopefully you enjoyed looking at that, and we'll be having these in fairly soon. I've got some reviewers samples which I'll send off to them. What number's mine? Let's have a look. I didn't actually even think to look. Oh, how bizarre. 367. Obviously I just mix them up. I just happened to have picked an early one as well. So let's just get the airflow right on that. That's just on one side, and the juice flow, I usually have the juice flow up about 2/3. In fact, what we can do, see if this show you my setup in here, shall we? So I can show you how easy it is to, or difficult it is to take apart. Come on, it's this dot here. No, why wouldn't that move around in? Oh, there it is. It is there. Get you on the other camera again. 1 second. Knock something over. Hopefully you can see that. There you go, just a round wire build, and you literally just tuck the cotton in. That's a 2, what did I do? No, it's a 2 mil diameter coil, I think. It doesn't lend itself, in my opinion, to a Clapton build. So if you're thinking of Clapton's right for you, and that's all you vape on for a mouth to lung, you probably want to think again. So we'll go with this insert, shall we? On a different mod. Take that camera away again. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, thanks, Daniel. If you like the show, or you like that little, I think that's the first show on YouTube of the Luxem. I could be wrong. So if you like that, give us a thumbs up. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, that is a beauty ring there. There's the tank, and then it just sits on that beauty ring. Let's find something 22 mil mod. You'd think I'd have one of them here, wouldn't you? You really would. Well, let's just put it on this. I know it's not right really, but let's put it on this artery. Got the airflow right. There we go, folks. Just finishes it off a bit, I think, if you wanted to just give it a bit of depth at the bottom. So even after all that messing about, there's no gurgling, nothing like that. So it's really good. When you want to fill it, the juice flow, literally, you just turn it. Just turn the top, turn it down to 0, hold the glass, undo the top, and away you go. So yeah, I really like that. And Salford doesn't look bad that day. Yeah, I think actually, David, that's probably a bit up your alley, as they say. You would probably like that, I would have thought. It's your kind of, because you like the, what was their little dripper that they did? I've got them here. Can't remember. But they did a little 18 mil dripper, which I know David liked. Lane Jackson, Mark, do you stock the Cold Steel 100? I don't. You mean this one? Is this the 100? I think it is. Cold Steel. You'd think it would say it on it, wouldn't you? Anyway, you mean that one? That one there. I don't. It's well made. There are changes at EH Pro at the moment, and some of them have made me actually quite grumpy. So at the minute, I've just been holding back. I'd normally order there. I do like the products that they make. That's no secret. Spiral, thank you, David. But yeah, they're just, I don't know. They've taken some funny commercial decisions of late, which have affected me. And there's, it's just made me a bit grumpy. There's no need for some of it, but anyway, I guess when companies get bigger, they need to do other things to expand, and little companies like Nature Vape probably aren't part of that expansion program. So that's basically what it is. David Cox, how loose is it? How loose is it? Loose? Do you mean the airflow or the juice flow? It's quite easy to turn, the juice flow. The airflow, once that's set, is harder, but I think that's the right way round. You don't want a loose airflow, do you? But that is quite loose, but it's, to be honest with you, if you knock it a bit, if you had it on full plus, it isn't going to make the world of difference. But if you had VG in there, you would probably want it on 100%, you know, all the way. And Lane says, yes, that's the one. Yeah, the cold still. They do the, I've got the other one now as well, the bigger one. But, yeah, I mean, the screens really, they're really small, aren't they? You know, I thought most modern things are, I mean, not that it bothers me, in a way, a big screen, but God, that is heavy. That is, and again, it's a 21700 in here, isn't it? I think. I'm sure it is. Why am I even checking? I know it is. Yeah, 21700. So I mean, the battery in itself is going to be heavy, but even without the battery, there's quite a lot of weight there. Now, for some people, they love that. They'd think, good, it feels like it's got substance to it. But other people wouldn't, and it's, you know, you probably wouldn't want that in a pair of shorts in the summer. Very, very heavy. Oh, how loose it, David, you meant the drawer. Okay, let's put your comment up there. Bosh. The drawer, how loose is the drawer? Right, let's, for those of you that I can, oh, I'll just drop that ring and I'm not going to pick it up because it'll hurt me. Let's open the airflow to fully open both sides, which is there. And now, like a Burke, I've moved the juice flow, so let's do that. Tightness, you won't have a problem with how tight the juice flow is. Sorry, the airflow. So don't worry about that. Still on 10 watts, so let's have it as fully open. Both sides, so hopefully you can see that, are open on the biggest hole. That's quite open, I would have said, for a mouth to lung. Should we try a direct one? You can get that, but it's a, you know, it's a really tight direct lung. But hopefully that's sort of demonstrated. That was Norfolk, wasn't it? Demonstrated. Turn the airflow down to the smallest one on both sides. So we find out if your glasses work, Mark. Then you've got quite a, you know, tight, even though it's airflow on both sides on the smallest one, you know, that is quite a tight draw. So it's quite versatile, I would have said, quite versatile. I mean, the True Tank, I've got that, that's on its foot, that's nothing like me, isn't it? I've got that and it's fullest open. I didn't actually realise it was. And I think that is tighter than this one. Let's try it. Yeah, that's looser with all the airflows open than the True Tank on fully open. Yeah, but quite a bit. I couldn't. Yeah, and David says he's on the True fully open. I'm not normally. I normally have mine on the next one down. I can't move it on here. No, I wish I can. There you go. That's where I normally am. No, that don't feel right. Come on, Mark, sort yourself out. Let's take this right off here. If we were on television now, I'd be sorry for the slight delay. No, I apologise. It was on the third. It looked, for all the money, like that was fully open. It wasn't. It was on the third one. So that's full third. Yeah, it was on the third one. So, but there you go. I think there's an airflow to suit everyone on that little Purity one. I really do. I think that's, you should be able to dial in. If you want it looser than that, yeah, I can do a direct lung. Direct lung of that. So yeah, I think there's an airflow there for everyone. And Andy says he likes the middle hole on the True. Yeah, I'm the same, Andy. That's normally where I am, on the middle hole. There's 5 holes, and I'm usually on the middle one. Yeah, the middle hoe. Andrew likes a middle hoe. Yeah, hole even. Okay, so let's get rid of that comment. I think that was all really that I had to talk about in the main. What's the time now? 3/4 of an hour. I don't think there was too much else. There's been a couple of other new bits and pieces arrived, but it was mainly, these mouth to lungs that I wanted to talk about tonight and just show you. I might even do a live build on this one because it is pretty easy. I use the Coil Master coiling jig and just pretty much really 28 gauge Canthal, and I just put as many wraps on. I put quite a few on, then I took them off so that really the width of the coil suited the deck, and that happened to come out. I mean, I could have took more off. That came out at 1.31, but I could have got that down to a 1 ohm coil quite comfortably. That just still took that, or even 0.9. So yeah, I think it's a good job with this one. I like it. What's on the cards? David says that looks like it could be a good purchase. Well, I think I've just shown you one. The Keys Alexander RDA for people that like RDAs. I think that's a cracking dripper. I really do. It's had some very good reviews and inexpensive as well, about 20 quid I think. What else that have we had that's new? I've took a bit of a, this time of year, okay, this is going to, if I don't explain this right, this is going to come across funny. This time of year is always the quietest time of year for vaping. It's the time where there are other things to do, barbecues, holidays, school holidays, family holidays, all these things that take priority over vaping, which I think people are more interested in the winter. Yes, admittedly, I think for me anyway, in the summer I definitely prefer mouth to lung in the summer with an eye up the nicotine slightly as well, but up to a 9 very often. I've got in these tanks tonight the new, in fact that's a new thing, blackcurrant, raspberry and lime. It's all handwritten. It's a mix, you can see 9mg. That was made on the 2nd of September, so I've already given that a bit of a bosh. That was brimful. So yeah, this time of year it tends to go quiet, and when it goes quiet, that's when people that probably do rely on this industry for a living and maybe, I'm not going to say struggling, but maybe it's more important to them that they've got to keep that income generated. That's when people tend to get a bit tricky and a bit snidey and a bit nasty, and it's just human nature, I guess. And also products of late, I've not really seen a lot of innovation. I'm not going to lie. I mean, you could probably buy things that are 2 years old. I mean, like, to be honest with you, this is my opinion. What has come out better than the True Tank as a mouth to lung tank? in the last year. I know quite a few people like that exprimizer thing. It's here somewhere. Here it is. I haven't touched that since 2 weeks ago when I did the show. It's still got liquid in it. Personally, I don't like it at all. That's my opinion. But, you know, where is the innovation at the minute, and how do they innovate? You know, I think this little tank here, I think that's nice. That's innovation. It's cute. They've put juice flow on it, airflow on it. They've made an effort. They haven't just churned out something for churning out's sake. But at the minute, we just seem to be getting, like, I can't believe, even more pods coming out, pod after pod after pod. So nothing has really come out lately that has made me sit up and listen and think, cool, yeah, I've got to have that. Like when the Dovpo Squonk mods came out, I was all excited. Yeah, we've got to have a bit of this. They're different. They're new. That's better than we've seen. But there's not really been a product like that. And I've always been a company that, unless I think there is something good that I can offer that's perhaps different to the run of the mill, then I'd rather not bang up my site full of new stock just for the sake of having the latest, I don't know, Tony B creation. Oh dear, did I say that? I mean, that man must have a magic pencil. If he can design all these things and work with all these companies, you know, I'll let you work out for yourself what's happening there. But, you know, innovation is where it is. So there you go, Dave. That was a very long-winded answer to say, you know, I haven't really got that much new, and I haven't, you know. But yes, we will be having these. Yes, should be having these, the keys and the Ambition mods. I didn't stock that because I didn't really see it as, yes, it's nice, and I'm quite pleased I've got one in my collection, but it's not, I haven't used it much, and that shows, you know, how much I think of it, you know. So yeah, when something good comes out, I'll stock it. So what have you all thought of those comments? Any good juices to try running low? Yeah, Andy, our concentrates, I've been spending a lot of time on them. We've got a Vimto coming out. We've got this one, Blackcurrant Raspberry and Lime, coming out. We've got the other four that we do. I mean, the Mango, Peach and Papaya, it's one of my favourites. Yeah, I mean, it depends what you like juice. I mean, that is such a hard thing to say to you, yeah, get this, it's the most amazing juice. Because what I think is amazing and good, you might think, this is rank. I like a real strong mint, and this isn't strong mint. So, you know, hard to say. But yeah, we've done quite well with our concentrates. I'm really pleased. They seem to be well accepted, and people are rebuying, you know, which is a good sign that we're getting something right. So that's good. David, still got to do the review. I'm going to put you in lights for that one, David. Yes, you have. How lazy have you been, David? Yeah, look forward to it, David. Look forward to it. Hopefully you like it. I think it's probably the biggest point for me that no one's really mentioned on a review that I've seen is you can drop about 50 drops of juice in there and still don't spit and doesn't leak. And I think for a dripper, yeah, that's cracking, you know, and it tastes really good as well. The only thing there is a slight, I've got mine here. What have I done with mine? I think that's downstairs. Yeah, it is. I've been using it. I've got the early version. Ow. That's the pre-production version. I don't think I'd like to try that now because that's haven't been used for a long while. Yeah, a lot going on there, is there, folks? Battery low. So there you go. That shows how long ago it's been since I used that. But yeah, well, actually, that proves a point. There is a little bit of whistle, but nothing that would deter me. I mean, I don't like noisy tanks, and I wouldn't class that as noisy. So that's it. It's almost like, because of the way the perforations are, you can almost hear the whistle. But that's all. That's all that I think. Albert, how much will the purity be roughly? That's a very good question. I was talking to Ambition Mods yesterday. Now, did I ask them? Oh, excuse me. Creaky old back. Where is she? Here she is. Do you know, I don't think I even asked for the price. No, I didn't. No, I didn't at this stage. Sorry. How bad a businessman am I? See, but that proves a point in a way. It's not about how much things are, it's about what they are. And even without knowing the price, I've made up my mind that this is something we should stock. So I know it's going to be in line. It's going to be somewhere between, I would say, 25 and 30 quid. Is my best guess. But yeah, there you go. And Matt Benson, the Integra. Yes, it is, Matt. The Integra is a very good tank. Yeah, I agree. And that is a bit different. Yep. Yeah, with you on that. It is. And this has got to go in lights from David. Pods have never... No, nor me. I know with salts, people like pods, and they got them through the day. They're easy to chuck in the pocket. And I guess in the summer, they really are easy in a pair of shorts or whatever. But, these things aren't big, are they? I mean, it's not big at all. You look at the size of that. So why would you have a pod when you can have a rebuildable that vapes like these? Only my opinion. This one don't vape at all at the minute. So I undo that. Turned it off probably. Curly Chew, why are you laughing? I've obviously said something funny. That's probably my comment about Tony B. How much is shipping to the US in general? $9.99, and it'll take about 7 to 10 days. And we send quite a lot to the US actually, more than you'd probably think we would. A lot of customers there, and I guess now with the pound exchange rate, I mean, yeah, probably makes it worthwhile. That's good. Manic, can't wait to try the Vimto. The early Vimto, Manic, I had Coolada in it, and I for me that just didn't work. Some people would say, oh yeah, put a bit of mint in there, it'd be lovely. Not for me. And now that mint has been taken out, I think it's banging. But let's see. And Pittsburgh, where can I find the billet box doors? Thank you. They are on the site, the panels. We've also, that's just arrived actually, and I haven't put them on the site yet. We've also got the Clear, and the Ultim has just come back into stock. Panels. Daniel. Yeah, that's a good point, Daniel. I just read the end of that. I think I know what you're going to say. Spawn Mark, since the True Tank, the only two tanks that have come remotely close are the Gate and the SXK. Yeah, the GTR. I have been using that as well. Cool, that's dark old liquid in there, isn't it? That's tobacco. This GTR, I can't stock it really on the site. It's a plain one. It's not got anything written on it at all. But yeah, that if you get a chance to get one, folks, I would say get one. They are good. The flavour from this is very good. Like that. And Salford just reminded me I have 2 reviews for you. What 2 have you got, David? Was one a juice? I think one was a juice. That you haven't, yeah, it was. You haven't done it yet, have you? I hope you liked it. I hope you did. And John Nash, the True Tank's still the best, despite it leaks for you, John. Google, but didn't come up with much. What for the panels? Pittsburgh, the billet box panels. They're on the site. If you look at the website, is underneath my chest here. Nature Vape. If you have a look on there. But what I would say to you is if you are interested in everything I want is downstairs. If you're interested in the Ultim panels or the clear ones, in the next 2 days they will be on the site. But the other ones are on there. The sort of the more resiny type ones, they're all on there. If you look under, I think it's devices, then it'll say billet box. And then look under that, you'll see everything related to billet box. And Salford, what's he got to say here? Had a bit of interest from subscribers for the gate tanks. I hope at least one purchased one this week from. Yeah, well, that's been very popular for us. We're selling an awful lot still to Germany. They seem to love them there. I like the gate. I usually like a tobacco in it. Yeah, for me it just works, and the filling's not hard. I have learned that just turn the juice flow. I've got that the right way around. The juice flow down, turn that off, then unscrew it. When I was doing it the other way and not bothering to turn the juice flow off, it worked 9 times out of 10. But the odd time, if I'd vaped it very full to very low, unscrewed the top, pulled the top out, almost sort of went and just lifted the wick out of the where it sits. So yeah, I would say turn the juice flow off for that reason. Take the top off and fill it up, and yeah, it's been. Well, you can see how much I like it. It's 3.5 ml of tobacco today. And thank you, David, for your reviews and efforts you do for me. And honestly, I use reviewers. If David didn't like something, he would say in his very dry manner, "I got this from Nature Vape. I'm sorry, Mark. It's awful." And he would. I know he would. So he wouldn't. Just because I send it doesn't change David's opinion in the slightest. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I like the Vandy Vape Sample X for the salts. Simple X for. I haven't tried the Simple X Andy by Vandy Vape, so yeah, I haven't tried it. I don't know what it's like. There are some better pods coming now. When you think the early ones were, I think, pretty poor, there are now some quite good ones, I think, coming. If you like that kind of thing. John, Painkillers, yeah, kicking in, good show take. Yeah, thanks, John. Thanks for dropping by as always. Always nice to see you. I hope you're feeling okay. Yeah, and Albert, yeah, I mouth to lung vape all the time, loving all the new mouth to lung tanks coming out just now. Yeah, I do. I've explained this on the show time and time again. I've gone full circle from mouth to lung. We did our own little coils in the early, well, we still do them, but that's how we started the Kanga coils, and we made for those of you that don't know, we made the coil with a non-resistance wire each end and a resistance one in the middle, so it didn't burn the little rubber grommet, with organic cotton when most people hadn't heard of it at that time. So we were quite ahead at the start. Yeah, and I went from that, and I was almost a bit reluctant to try some of the direct lung ones, and I actually struggled to do it for some reason with my throat or whatever, for some reason to start with. But the reason I was a bit apprehensive is I didn't want to then not be able to mouth to lung, because I thought, if I really like this direct lung, is there any turning back to mouth to lung, which seemed very underpowered in consideration. It's a bit like riding a moped and getting your 600cc thing out. So, but that wasn't the case. Although I did direct lung for quite a long time with drippers, squonkers, and I went full circle. Then back to mouth to lung in really about probably a year and a half. It was probably 6 months before I did this, the True Tank. So, and since then I do direct lung for periodically from time to time, but it's not long ever before it gets put down. I pick up a mouth to lung and I'm vaping again in that way. So I think I've gone full circle, and it's not so much about the money and how much juice I'm burning through. It's not really that. It's what I enjoy. So that's probably the best way of describing it. But yeah, we're really lucky, Albert, at the minute. Some of these new mouth to lung tanks, some of, when you think in the early days, we had the, and I've said this before as well, that the early K funds, they were good for the best part, but they worked really well. Then you filled it up one day and it leaked everywhere. And you think, why did that happen? But we haven't got that so much anymore, so that's good. And Pittsburgh Vapes, you want clear. They're in. I've physically got them, but they'll be on the site. I don't know if I listed them or deleted them, thinking I couldn't get them anymore. But I have now got some more, so they'll be on the site within 2 days. Okay, so hopefully, own your Pittsburgh, you found me. Lovely, happy days. Look forward to your business. Matt Benson, here's a comment. Ever thought about selling the EVL Reaper V3? Authentic is a bit expensive, but one of the best mouth to lung tanks ever, UK based. Yeah, and that's one. There are obviously clones of that, and I didn't want to do a clone of although they're easily available. I didn't want to do that for that tank. And yeah, I agree. I've tried one. I've used one, and they are a good mouth to lung, a good tank. Yeah, I agree with you. But a lot of because of how I've run my business, a lot of people with genuine products, are sometimes a little bit loath to deal with me because I've done things like the billet box. But I'm, I do it my way, and please or offend, that's how I do it. In my head, I've got. I just think, if I enjoy it, then I want to share that, and I want my customers to enjoy it, and that's how I am. So sometimes I get it wrong, sometimes, but no one's perfect. But yeah, Andy Harris, it's a 4mm squonker, Mark, 18mm. It's a 4mm squonker. What is, Andy? Have I missed a point there? Sorry, Andy, not with you. Andy Harris and John. No, I'm sorry, Andy. I've obviously missed a point there. And there you go. There's a reply from David about his honesty. Mark, I have to be honest with the reviews, but I don't like the trend of saying to destroy an item or company. No, and you don't have to destroy it. I've done some negative reviews myself, and I did one. I used to get on quite well with Tesla, and I did that was their all-in-one mod. I can't remember what it was now, but it's the one with like a biro spring for a coil, and I did not rip it to shreds. Well, I suppose I did in a way, but and I said to him, "Come on, guys, you can do better than this. This isn't a great product." And they really took exception to that, and they stopped talking to me. So, I just think if you should be you should accept criticism as well as praise. And all right, no one likes to be criticised, but you know, I've had it on some products that I think it was Todd that said with one of mine. He said, "Sorry, Nate, I don't like this." Well, the fact of the matter was, he wasn't using it properly. Is the actual fact of the matter. But that's by the by. But the fact he didn't like it, I accept that. You know, that was his opinion. I do accept what he said, you know, and I didn't bleat about it or fall out with him on the next one. You know, it's, you know, yes, it's disappointing, but, you know, you have to, if we don't take criticism, things don't get any better, do they? You know, so that's how I see it. Yeah, Daniel. And you love hand making the pro coils to this very day, Mark, don't you? Yeah, and what was I doing all weekend making those pro coils because we got so low? While everyone else was barbecuing and beering and watching cricket, mind you, I'm glad I didn't watch that in the end. I was out making coils in my workshop. Yeah, so good evening. It's Croatia Gunner. Good evening from Croatia. Nice to see that channel is active. Good evening and welcome. So Croatia Gunner, does that mean he's an Arsenal supporter that lives in Croatia, I wonder? Maybe. Or it could mean something completely different. But good evening and welcome. Right, Coil Proby. I haven't read this, so it's quite a long one, so I'm going to put it on the screen. I got a simple X in use. Oh, that's the pod, isn't it? And two in my cupboard unopened. I love it that much. I've swapped the RDA out with other mouth-to-lung RDAs. In fact, the one RDA is an RDA I use on it. Oh, and that's possibly what Andy meant. Is it it's an RDA? Is it the Vape one? Right, see, I told you I didn't know anything about it. In fact, the one RDA, the one RDA is an RDA using it. Yes, yeah, got you now. I think I need more sleep. I do. Right, okay, Simple X. CB coils, will there be a version 2 of the true mouth to lung? Put that on there. Never say never. At the moment there won't be, because until I can, and I touched on this earlier, until I can beat that and knock it to the side, you know, with something good, really good, then I don't want to. And there are other reasons at the moment as well, but I just, if I had a good idea that I wanted to do, then yes, I would. I may go about it in a different way if I was going to do it again, and I may. It would be nice to do it in England, wouldn't it? To be frank, and much as EH Pro were very good to me, you know, we were good to each other. And I think that worked well, but it would just be nice if it was someone in the UK and any little fine tweaks I could pop in, and you know what I mean, and we could get it going that way. So if that opportunity arose one day to work with someone in the UK, I would possibly look at that. But at the minute I've got no plans to. I think that's, you know, we've got the pipe on the go with Bessie at the minute, so we'll have a look, see what that holds for us, and we'll take it from there. So never say never. There you go. Croatia, no, just active competitor shooter. Oh right, you're a shooter. Way back, your review and build advice did help me a lot with Berserker V1. Oh, brilliant! I'm glad it did. Super. The Berserker V1. Did I put a parallel coil in there? I think I did. I think I used a parallel coil, going by memory. You're not tired. We can see the bottle of alcohol to your left. Is it? Left. Where? Rubbish. No alcohol. No, there was one a couple of weeks ago, but yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah, I did. I looked. Yeah, all right. Fair dues. You got me. Martin, good evening all. Yeah, good evening, Martin. Iggy, hello, Iggy. Hi, Mark. Do you sell the non-resistant resistant coil or just the wire? No, Iggy. We there is a company. Actually, I've still got that on the screen. Let's get rid of that one. Let's put Iggy's comment up there, and I'll explain. We don't sell the wires because we make them here ourselves, and part of that, I mean, I'm not going to lie, that I'll spin the coils and I'll probably break 1 in 10. So that's a bit of a test in itself to know that they're spot welded properly, and if there's a weakness, it will break normally as I'm building it. But we don't sell them here. There are non-res wires available. I think Stealth Vape do them, but they're not the same as ours. We use, to be honest with you, we've got a centre wire and we put 2 wires spot welded like that on each end. So there's actually 5 wires to our 1 wire. And to be honest with you, I don't want to resell those because they are quite intense to make. And if you sold them, someone would say, how much? You know, but as I explained earlier with Bessie, you know, who's packed in, that's why we're English. We need to earn a living. We can't do things for a bowl of rice. Do you know what I mean? We need an income. So, but people can't see the value in some of the things that you do and the time that's involved. So, I mean, I got criticised for my coils in the early days, and people said, you know, it's a ridiculous price. How much? But then once they bought them and realised they lasted anywhere between, depending on how you use them, 1 and 6 months, for 1 coil for £6, you know, that what amazes me is that we used to buy a packet of fags for a tenner every day. We didn't moan, we just kept buying them. So, you know, that's where it is, really. So there you go, Iggy. Hopefully I've answered that for you. Manic, you've got a cruel sense of humour. It's only if it helped you with, yeah, possibly I could. Well, you know, I've helped him with other things in the past. I know I have, even though my name didn't go to them. So there you go. Let's leave it at that. CB, thanks for the answer. It's my favourite mouth to lung. Brilliant. Good. Oh, yeah, Salford. Yes, you did. Did I hear pipe? If a pipe's in the line, I'd be very interested in that. Got my slippers. Right, David. Let's see if I can find a picture that we had of the pipe. Oh, I think I'm going to have to go. I haven't got it on here. I'm going to have to go. This is going to be a bit bizarre, folks, so bear with me. I'm going to have to go to this first. Get rid of that. Now I should have things I do for you, David. There you go. That was just a mock-up, really, of the sort of thing we're looking at, and it's going to be built really for the True Tank. So, but that's just a little idea of what we're hoping to do. So there you go. Take you off there. Take you off a 2-person and put you on a single. There you go. Things I do for you, Salford. Honestly. Why weren't you watching when I had Bessie on here 2 weeks ago? He's a great guy. We had a lovely show, and I know you had your problems on pulling your leg, David. But yeah, it's good. So hopefully, he did actually say in a couple of weeks he should be, you know, progressed down the line. So, you know, I will speak to him soon about that. Yeah, and I get your point, Iggy. But it's such a shame because they're awesome. I've put them in RDAs as well. I have, and I fully understand what you mean. I do. Iggy's talking about the wires again, with the non-resistance, resistance, and yeah, they do work. What's the one I put them in? A smock? Is it called a Triton? I put them in there, and they work really well in there. Yeah. So yeah, I understand. I do understand that. I mean, you've been a customer of mine now for some years, Iggy. So who knows? Maybe I'll help you. And coil probing. How does those spot welded wires work? How do they work? Well, they're basically, let's put that one on there. Coil probing. How they work? You've got a non-resistance, resistance, and resistance wire. So as you spin it, you've got your coil here, and there's your two non-resistance legs. These are made of Ni200, and that's made of Canthal. So all this is doing, I hope this is the question you've asked, and you don't think I'm talking down to you, because I don't mean to. This just takes the current, basically. It doesn't get hot. The only thing that gets hot is the coil. So they're called like lead-in wires, if you like, that a lot of electricians would understand that more as. So that's how they work, but we spot weld two wires on the end of ours, because when they're sitting there as a coil, when you're pulling cotton through, they can collapse otherwise. So two wires, one on each side, just helps hold that stable, and also for some bizarre reason seems to, take the current through nice and even, and that part is a bit baffling. But there you go. Coil probing. Manic, you mean to get Tony, excuse me, my back's hurt, to sign off on it. Yeah. Just get him to sign off on it. Obviously, be nice to see some of Tony's drawings. He must have some awesome drawings. Must do. Some incredible ones. Tony B designs everything from scratch by hand. we need to stop this, okay? Because we've had our little bit of fun. I mean, he's a good reviewer, Tony B. He's a good reviewer, but I think we all know that although you couldn't possibly have designed all those products, you couldn't have done it physically, but it's nice. I mean, it's basically it's manufacturers wanting to work with him. Keith Parker, I assume. Yeah. Oh, should I say your name on? Oh, that's Keith. Probably broken some data protection and anything. Hi, Keith. We won't be long now, Keith. For I was only going to come on for about half, 3/4 of an hour, because I explained at the start of the show my back is very sore, but this chair seems actually quite comfortable. Matt Benson's by the well, girlfriends have enjoyed. Put that one up there. Go. Have been enjoying her replacement tree after she lost my one after a big night out. She borrowed it and I never got it back. Well, good news for me, I guess. Sold another one. Yeah, I mean I lost one night. Too many frothy ones, and I lost it. I think I left it in a taxi or something. But there you go. But yeah, good. Glad she's enjoying it. And coil probing. Like the. I guess he means ambitious, emissionless vapor. I don't know what you mean there. That coil probing. I'm sorry. David. Very nice. I love my pipes. True Tank works well on the Guardian 3. That's for anyone who don't know the Guardian 3. That's that one, isn't it, David? There's not many of these out there, I don't think. They took tell how much I use it, can't you? Oh, David, how does this bottom come off? I thought it slid off. How many chins have I got when I do this? This is where I'm about to break it, isn't it? Oh no, pulls off. It's on magnets. Takes battery have I got in there? That's a Molicel 18650 battery in the bottom. and yeah, it's got no tank on it at the moment. So yeah, you can't get these anymore, guys. But I guess it was quite nice. It had the fire button here, if you like pipes. So it wasn't a bad one, but it would have been nicer in wood, a bit plasticky, I think. Come on, take that off. Lovely. Lucky Matt Benson, thanks for explaining. Oh, that's okay, Carl. Probably. I hope that was a question you meant. Or the answer to it. And Iggy put that one up. My first cloudy tanks was a Smock VCT with Mark's own VCT 1.5. It was truly awesome. Took vaping for me to the next level and kept me vaping. And bizarrely, I mentioned earlier that there was a product that Todd didn't like. That was it. That was the product he didn't like. But he was trying to use it. It's a 1.4 ohm coil, and he was trying to use it, I think, at 30 watts, and that's why, he just said it tasted burnt. Well, it would do. It was the Smock VCT was a sub-ohm tank, which we basically took from sub-ohm to put our 1.4 ohm coil in it, so you could vape it at, with that wire in there, I'm going to say, Iggy, you probably vaped that about 20 watts, 20 watts, I would have said. But yeah, I thought it vaped well as well. Any idea where I can get... Oh, here we go. Let's put this one up. Grant, hi Grant. Any idea where I can get a threaded drip tip adapter for the SXK billet box? I believe connection is different. Yes, it is. The billet box, that's this bit you mean, isn't it? In here. That's an old... Yeah, that's the old version. That's the earlier version. But they are I think a UNC thread, or there's certainly a US thread, and the SXK ones are a metric thread. So no, I'm afraid I don't know where you can get one. Off the top of my head, that's quite a hard thing to source, I would think. Anyone in chat that knows, please tell him. Wow, Dode, is that right? There's about 2 Guardian 3s left in the UK for 78 quid. Never been used. That's a lie as well, that is. Okay, folks. Well, we're nearly up to 10 o'clock, and I think I'm going to be getting an early one and resting this back or doing something to it with painkillers or something because it's very sore. And B, thanks anyways. Okay, that's about the billet box. So yeah, sorry there's no guest tonight. If anyone's watching and they think I'd like to be a guest on the show, get in contact with me. So it's always nice to have a guest. It's not essential. I'll still pop in and talk about things like I have tonight, just chew the cud. But it's nice as well sometimes to have a guest. So if anyone fancies it, or if you know anyone that fancies someone interesting, obviously, someone that it's like I enjoyed having Bessie. He'll tell stories that you think, wow, I didn't know that, and you learn something, and that's great if we can get to there. Or someone who's funny. Let's have someone funny on. So. Thanks. 1 or 2 people said thanks. Manic says, have you tried Fast Tech for the billet box adapter? I'm not sure if they'd have it. Thanks guys for all your lovely comment. I've got 26 thumbs up, which is amazing for a little show that I didn't announce. I literally just hit the start button at 8:30. Oh, good evening, Pav. You're not a little late, Pav. You're very late. And you've been in Cornwall. Fantastic. Yeah, so it's great that so many people have popped on. Thumbs up aplenty. I hope you've all enjoyed it. So hopefully next Tuesday I shall be back on again. Sometimes it's not always possible, and sometimes I don't know until quite the last minute. But if I am going to be here 8:30 on a Tuesday, If I don't press that button within 5 minutes of 8:30, you can pretty much say there's not going to be a show. So hopefully, see you next week. Thanks for all your lovely comments, folks. Thanks for watching. Until then, bye for now.